Good morning, this is Connor from 0DTE Traders here to present our market minute for September 25th, 2023. It is 10:20 and the SPX is trading flat at 43.20. We did have a decent bounce here this morning off our put wall. We bought the dip basically within the first 5 minutes. This is technically a high probability setup as per our process. The put wall at 4,300 and then a double cycle low. Our first target on the upside was G3. Which we have tagged. Now we're looking for possible continuation up to G1 P8, so that 43.50 zone. Now I think the upside is what's in question here, much like Friday. How much upside are we going to see? We've clearly seen a nice reversal here in market internals from almost a bearish extreme to a more neutral state. We've also seen volatility sell off down about 4% or so from its intraday high. Still green on the session, but something that may limit the upside here today is the fact that growth is underperforming. And this is really being weighed down by a higher dollar, up 0.4%, and higher U.S. Treasury yields. So I think in order to see more upside, we need to see growth outperform. Now they are technically outperforming the other sectors here on a market cap weighted basis, but we really need to see them accelerate on the upside. So I decided to go with the long volatility approach today, looking for a butterfly up in this region, 43.55. Bought it for 30 here, sold out half at 80. So technically in a winning scenario. So I'm just going to let this ride. If we break G3, that is that confirmation. And then, possible big reward potential. Now, I haven't gone short quite yet. I want to wait for a setup as per our process. So I'm being a little bit patient here, perhaps around noon. If the market doesn't continue higher, I would present a nice short opportunity. Now, we think the downside might be limited today to our put wall, right, of 4,300. However, a break below is most certainly a bearish indication. Just looking at some put wall statistics, on an open within 1% of the put wall, how often was the put wall breached? Only 21% of the time. So there is edge selling puts below the put wall, buying perhaps an upside butterfly off that level as well. If the SPX opened below the put wall, that did not occur today. So when the put wall was breached, how often did it close below? 39% of the time. It has not been breached yet. And there is edge for a false break. However, days when the SPX does close below the put wall, the average closing price is negative 1.6%. So if it does break, it tends to be quite ugly as more sell flows come into the market. But the reason we bought the dip here today, and the reason why the put wall tends to work more often than not, is that institutions use this level to monetize puts and to sell elevated volatility. And that's clearly what we saw here this morning on the little bounce. Clearly we rejected G3. So are we going to come lower, or is this going to move higher, or perhaps base sideways? I think it's a little challenging to predict here in this environment. Now, we don't try to predict necessarily. We do trade a process. So at this point, we would still have an upside bias, just given where we sit at this juncture. A break of G3 confirms the upside. A break of the put wall confirms the downside. If those two levels hold, well, we may just be in a chop fest today. So I think anything is a go. We're in a good situation on the upside, and we'll be looking for downside opportunities perhaps later. Now, if you're not a member and you're interested in learning more, you can visit our website at 0DTEtraders.com. Best of luck out there today.